My name is Jake, and what I'm about to tell you is something I still can't explain. It happened last winter when I was driving home for Christmas break. I go to school in Chicago, but my family lives in a small town in Indiana. The drive isn't too bad, just about 3 hours of mostly open road with some long stretches of highway cutting through empty farmland. That night it had just started snowing, covering the fields and roads in a thin, glowing layer of white. I left campus a little later than I planned, around 10 p.m., hoping to avoid traffic. My best friend Ryan was supposed to drive with me, but he bailed last minute because of some family thing. I actually didn't mind too much. There's something about night drives, the quiet, the music, just me and the road. It gives me time to think. An hour into the drive, I was cruising down a mostly empty back road. The only lights came from old street lamps and the occasional gas station. I was starting to zone out when my phone buzzed, a text from Ryan. "Dude, WTF? You just called me?" I frowned. I hadn't called anyone. I glanced at my phone, and sure enough, there was an outgoing call to Ryan a minute ago. I replied, "Nah, wasn't me. Probably a glitch." A few minutes passed, then my phone rang. Unknown number. I let it go to voicemail, assuming it was a scam call, but almost immediately after it rang again. The same number. A weird feeling crept up my spine. I declined the call and tossed my phone onto the passenger seat. The music had stopped when the call came in, so I reached over to restart my playlist. That's when I noticed something in my rearview mirror. A shape, a shadowy blur in the back seat. I whipped my head around. Nothing, just the empty seats. My pulse was pounding now. I turned the music down and kept glancing in the mirror, but there was nothing there. I took a deep breath, shaking my head. Probably just my imagination or the dim light playing tricks on me. Then my phone buzzed again. Another text from Ryan. "Dude, I picked up that call. You didn't say anything, but I could hear breathing, like right up against the phone." A cold chill ran through me. I grabbed my phone and typed back, "What are you talking about?" "I didn't call you." Before he could respond, the unknown number called again. My stomach twisted. My hands were shaking as I answered. "Hello?" Silence. Then, a slow, deep breath. I felt ice in my veins. Someone was there, listening, breathing. My mouth was dry, my throat tight. I managed to whisper, "Who is this?" A pause. Then, in a low, calm voice, a man said, "Hello, Jake." I nearly swerved off the road. My breath caught in my throat. He knew my name. The voice continued, smooth and steady. "You shouldn't be driving alone tonight." My hands clenched the wheel. My brain was screaming, trying to rationalize, to find some explanation, but I couldn't. I was about to hang up when he said something that made my skin crawl. "I'm already with you." My stomach dropped. I turned my head so fast I nearly gave myself whiplash. The back seat was empty. I felt like I couldn't breathe. My hands were clammy, my vision starting to blur from panic. I choked out, "Who are you?" The man chuckled. "Look at your reflection." I didn't want to. Every nerve in my body screamed at me not to, but I couldn't help it. I slowly glanced at the rearview mirror, and my heart stopped. I was looking at myself, but something was wrong. The reflection of my face was smiling. But I wasn't smiling. I slammed the brakes so hard my tires skidded on the ice. My breath was coming out in short, sharp gasps as I turned in my seat, bracing myself. Nothing. The back seat was still empty. I gripped the wheel, my knuckles white. My body was trembling. I turned back to the mirror. and my reflection was normal again, expressionless, just me. My phone buzzed in my lap, making me jump. A text from Ryan. "Bro, who's with you? I just heard someone whisper your name." I stared at the message, my vision blurring from fear. I didn't reply. I just hit the gas and kept driving, gripping the wheel so tightly my fingers ached. I don't remember the rest of the drive. I must have been in some kind of autopilot mode, because the next thing I knew, I was pulling into my parents' driveway. I sat there for a long time, staring at my phone. My call log showed an outgoing call at 10:47 p.m., but not to Ryan. It was to my own number, and the call had lasted exactly 37 seconds. The exact amount of time I had been on the phone with the man. I checked the voicemail from earlier, the one I ignored. My hands trembled as I hit play. There was no voice, no words, just breathing. Slow, deep breathing. And then, right before the message ended, a faint chuckle. The same chuckle I had heard on the phone. That was a year ago. I still don't know who or what called me that night, but sometimes when I check my phone at night, I see a missed call from my own number. He is still with me,